A Hillsborough County man who was just 15 years old when a judge gave him a life sentence for armed robbery could soon be set free. Kenneth Young was sentenced to life in prison without parole in 2000 for his role in 3 armed robberies. He spent 11 years in prison. During that time, the Supreme Court ruled it's unconstitutional for juveniles to be sentenced to life for crimes other than murder. In a hearing today, a judge reconsidered Young's sentence. Orion Raish listened in on this hearing this afternoon, and he joins us live outside the Hillsborough County Courthouse. Orion, what did the judge decide?
Well, I just stepped out of the courtroom, and the hearing is actually still going on right now. A judge could reach a decision tonight, or he could continue this another day. Either way, this has been a very long road for Kenneth Young and his entire family.
Young.
This 26-year-old man last saw freedom when he was 15 years old. He was just a boy then. Now, in courtroom 18, he's closer than ever to being free again.
We are here today seeking a second chance for Kenneth Young. That's the primary reason.
As it stands now, Young is 11 years into his sentence of life without parole for his part in a string of armed robberies. The judge who handed down the sentence back then is now in retirement. In a letter read by Young's attorney, that judge admitted the sentence was a mistake.
It was not my intent at the time of the sentencing that Mr. Young never be considered for release. So I support Mr. Young's bid for consideration for clemency.
That he was able to admit his wrong, that was like a slap in the face to me and my family.
Rachel Young is Kenneth's aunt. She says the family appreciates the judge's apology, but that alone doesn't bring their loved one back home.
Well, you know, time is a precious commodity, you know, that you just cannot purchase, you can't buy back. You know, once it's gone, it's gone.
That pain may soon drift away thanks to a recent Supreme Court ruling, Graham v. Florida. The ruling says it's unconstitutional to give a life sentence without parole to a child for anything other than murder. Kenneth Young is one of 12 offenders the state is re-examining for release.
I certainly did find him to be of a high level of personal maturity, and that's based on dealing with thousands of inmates.
During this hearing, experts, doctors, and family testified to Young's remorse, his clean record in prison, and his rehabilitation now as an adult. Near the end, Young himself stood up and made his last plea for freedom.
I want you to know, Young, I am not a monster or a person who is not trying to change, but in fact a young civilized man who has changed and put forth much effort.
Now, just a few moments ago, the victims in these crimes took the stand. They basically relived the nightmare of these armed robberies for the court. They do not want Young to be released. Live in Tampa, Ryan Raish, ABC Action News.